Podcasts are on the agenda again at Radiodays Europe, and Kaitlin Prest has been talking about the importance of storytelling in podcasts. Yours is called Heart?
The Heart.
The Heart.
Indeed.
And you're part of the Radiotopia group. So how's all that working?
I mean, it's great. I'm having a great time. I mean, we're making 24 episodes a year. We have a small budget to make it with. We're part of a collective of 11 other shows that are, actually there's more now. I think there's 14. Anyway,
so
the number doesn't matter.
99% Invisible, Helen
Zaltzman, Song Exploder, Memory Palace, Love and Radio.
It's almost like a network now.
It is
Radiotopia.
a network, totally. It is a network. But I mean, the best part of it is that the other shows on the network are also really highly crafted, really high quality, and sort of take the same approach to audio storytelling that our show does. And it's like so fun to be able to sort of throw to these other shows. I mean, they were my favorite shows before we joined the network.
So storytelling, we know about Serial, obviously. Is that the way forward? That's sort of long, the audio equivalent of the long read?
Well, I like the format. I think that there's a lot to be explored there. I think that even before Serial, I felt like, there's a lot to be learned from the way that television is made. I mean, the long, expanding a narrative across episodes, I think for me, allows us to examine the human experience in a more realistic way. If we're doing documentary, I think that trying to fit a person's life story or even one conflict into a 3-act structure that lasts for 1 hour it really you simplify it. It's reductive. Whereas when you expand it across episodes for an entire season like that, you can really get into the complexity that really lies behind an issue and lies behind the conflicts that happen in our lives. And I think that that's a really exciting form. But I don't think it's the only form.
One of the things that we learned from Serial is that there's a lot of value in explaining the process in the presenter, Sarah Koenig in that sense, actually telling you what she's thinking, talking about how she's telling the story. Is that something that you try to do as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that the idea that that you can be objective it's ridiculous. We're not objective, we're human. And so the way that we come to a story is a really important thing to notify the audience of. I think that you can go too far. I mean, I think with my work, the show is very, very personal, and people always ask me, how do you balance between being personal and being self-indulgent? And I think that you can always hear it when someone's being self-indulgent, when they're giving you information about themselves that you don't care about or isn't relevant to the story. I think that finding a way, I'm not Sarah Koenig, so I'm making stuff that is really personal. It's like personal content. I think that when you're making documentary, really serious documentary about facts and truth and where all of those things are very important, I think letting the audience know of your subjectivity is important. And I think that your relationship to the story is important. In my context, I'm telling stories that are about deeply, deeply scary, personal, intimate, vulnerable things, like a breakup. The last time that I kissed somebody and he didn't want to kiss me, and I tried to make it happen, and it was super embarrassing and awful, and I interviewed him about it, and it was horrible to listen to that tape. But walking the line between being self-indulgent, I think the key to that is finding the through line of human experience that everyone can relate to, where you're offering something that is accessible to everyone, and you're sort of figuring out what that through line is.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you,
Yeah,
Kaitlin.
you're welcome.